at Coupe Sheet Metal, we believe our job is very essential in serving our customers. And that is just one reason why visiting us is an experience to be remembered.
Here at Coupe Sheet Metal, we have a reliable fleet of trucks. We specialize in countrywide delivery of all our material.
Coupe Sheet Metal is a family business that was started by my grandfather, who even had many of his machines hand-built decades ago to make our products the most reliable in Belize. Come visit us at our new facility on Iguana Creek Road, just past the Belize River leading to Spanish Lookout.
I chose Galen because of its strong reputation, great scholarships.
I came because I can take all my classes online.
Because Galen University opens doors to the outside world.
Their course offering in tourism.
It gives me more opportunity to become who I want to be.
If you want to connect with your inner champion to make the world a better place, then Galen is right for you.
Did you know that with the advancement in medical treatments, you have a greater chance of surviving a critical illness? But these treatments can be quite expensive and lengthy, resulting in significant financial loss. But with a Sagicor plan, we can help you to focus more on your recovery and not your finances.
Life moves fast. Be prepared with Sagicor. Learn more at sagicorlife.com.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Matters. Our guest this morning is Senator Michael Perifit, Attorney General of Belize and Minister of National Security. Senator Perifit attended primary and high school in Belize City and went on to the University of the West Indies for his LLB, followed by Norman Manley Law School where he got his LEC. Senator Perifit served as Speaker of the House of Representatives from March 2012 to January 2017. After he gave up his speakership, Senator Perifit became the Attorney General of Belize. Earlier this year, his portfolio was expanded to take on Minister of National Security, while at the same time assuming the post of Chairman of the United Democratic Party. Senator Perifit, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Rhonda.
It is a pleasure to have you. It's definitely quite a treat. Before we get into all the finer details, let me start off by saying that you are the man that is there's no in the middle for Michael Perifit. The people either really love you or really not love you or dislike you.
That's a good way of putting it, not love you.
Yes, not love you. And that could be because they don't know you. They know what you do. They know the jobs that you have. They know your responsibilities, but they don't know who Michael Perifit is. This morning, I would like for you to share with them who you are, yes, as a professional, but also as a person. So hopefully this morning, the people will be able to have a better appreciation of who Michael Perifit is and actually see him for the man that he truly is and not the job that he has. Again, welcome, Michael.
It's good to be here. Hopefully, that's a lot to accomplish.
I think we can. And I think how we will do this is that we will take you back a little bit to your formative years. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up, how you grew up. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings? I don't know, what were your parents like? Did you have chores? Talk to me a little bit about
Wow, my parents individually had children before they met. But that union created three of us, but my mother's children, we all five of us grew up very close. Born at Belize City, old Belize City Hospital up on E Street. I was taken home to Daly Street Right opposite to where Moon Clusters they were selling.
Yes, but they want me to live?
They cross the street for the true alley. That they are my barn, and then parents then moved to Cemetery Road where I was bred for so many years of my life, my entire life practically. So bred on Cemetery Road, 105 Cemetery Road, right next to where there used to be a crane shop, Turnhill Crane, where people used to use it to go get stuff from the Stone Habit and Habit on Cemetery Road, right next door to there, raised on that place there. So that's where we come from. I was always passionate about whatever I did, and I didn't do anything I didn't absolutely love to do. So when I do something, it's because I like it. I get so invested in it. I become passionate about it, and sometimes too passionate about it. And people, like you said, indeed, they misinterpret it the wrong way. However, when you're trying to accomplish things, you have to it's not all a happy party. You know, when it's like when my mother used to always say, when you're raising a child, it's not always boo, 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 here's some ice cream. Every now and again, you have to get lashed, right? And so it's not always fun and games. It's a lot of work sometimes. It's a lot of discipline. But what always drives me is that I know I have a clear conscience and a clean heart. So whatever I do, I try to do it with not but love and affection. So I always see myself through. And then this is the key thing, and I don't know if you get some insight into this, Rhonda. I think you are a local psychologist. You make us dig deep into the inner recesses of our minds and souls. And that's a good thing. But of my mother's 5 children, I'm the only one who chose to stay in Belize. I don't know what about this place. We thought people say it's bad this for this and bad for that, and why you still live in Belize and why, I don't know. This is the place that I love and cherish, and I always try to tell people I plan to live the rest of my life here, you know, and die here, you know. So if I plan to live here, I have to be a part of making it better, however small a part I can play in trying to make it better. So if you want to know me, my thing is that I am 100% right in your face. Really,
I don't need any convincing for that, and the rest of the Belizean people don't need any convincing for that. You're just the way you are.
Yeah,
but let's try. I think one of the things that would help the people to better understand the man you are today is to understand where you came from and how you were raised. I think that has a lot to do with the people that we turn out to be. Right. But that's just me. Like, again, I don't have no degree in psychology, but it's just my thought, you know. And the opportunities or lack of that we've been exposed to. You said that you're passionate. When you jump in with passion. One of the things that you were passionate, I don't know if you are anymore, about was basketball. Talk to us a little bit about that period in your life.
Well, sports was always the best outlets for us. I mean, from our era, Rhonda, without dating us or putting any number next door. You know, we grew up on sports. I grew up a stone's throw away from Rogers Stadium, where we played basketball, we played softball, we played. Remember when the Cubs, Gary Matthews came down to Belize, and afterwards they sent a training crew, and then we had little league baseball. So it was always volleyball, baseball, softball, basketball, football, everything we played, because that's what we did. We didn't have, as you know, television at the level you have it now. There was no social media. You know, I tease my daughter, who is, oh my God, 16 years old now. But I used to tell her, she loves to hear me tell her when there was no cell phone. She said, what? Like, yes, like no social media, no internet, no computer. We didn't even have a house phone. We didn't even have a flush toilet. for the first 10 years of my life. We had many reasons to be outside playing sports, you know, the malasha when you come home late and everything, but you're the player and everything. And so that's where we come from. We grew up extremely poor, so you had to work hard for what you wanted. You had to struggle, but what we had at home was a lot of love. And my mother and father were similar. I guess I got the combination of the two of them. My father was notoriously easygoing, fun-loving guy. My mother was rough. You know, my mother come from a Reed clan. Then 1 minute she's hugging you, squeezing you, telling you how much she love you, and 5 minutes later they lash you. So there was no, and good, you know, strong woman. So we had no. It was tough love, as they like to say. So when she was happy with you, you knew right away. When she was upset with you, you knew right away. And so kind of that's how I grew up. I mean, you know, it is what it is. And some people will like it, some people won't. Hopefully, some people respect it. But that's where we come from. It's all about you're in the streets and you're the player marble and the player top and, you know, you're the swim and you're dropping, try not dropping at the canal when you walk over on a pipe by West Scarlet Canal there. So that was a childhood. It wasn't, we grew up certainly not behind a computer screen to think that you could do an interview like this on a what do you call it, Zoom? Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, it's like many people have reasons though why they stay inside. When we were growing up, we had every reason why we had to be outside. So it wasn't just basketball, it was volleyball, it was all sports. When you hit from primary school, we were playing volleyball at Nations, basketball, and that's where you develop your social skills and then your social survival skills. So that's where we came from, full of life, full of passion, full of love.
You were just, at that time, you seemed like an ordinary boy. You were just an ordinary boy doing the normal things. Then you went to Jamaica to pursue your degrees. Right. While you were there, I would imagine you looked different than many. You sounded different than many. And you're accustomed to eating food that's different from many. It's the truth. I mean, even though we consider ourselves Caribbean people, we don't eat like the Caribbean people. Of
course not.
We eat different. You know, what was that whole experience like for you, from the different dialect to the food to the people to everything?
Well, it was going to Jamaica and Barbados for going to the Caribbean. Barbados was more strange. And before that, I had gone to the States to study economics from sixth form. But the legal training in Jamaica was the most interesting thing. As you know, Rhonda, we grew up on reggae music. We grew up on, and reggae music is something that's very, how should I put it, it's very local.
Yes.
When a reggae artist sing one song, you don't have to wonder who the song, he want to tell you who he, me, Shabba Rankins, you know, so he want to tell you who he, and they sing about Jamaica and places in Jamaica and where you go in Jamaica. So when we got there, we're like seeing what we were hearing in the songs. So it was an exciting time. Being in Jamaica is so similar in one way, so different in another way. They drive on the left like England. Everybody bragging and think they're bad. And so you have, you know, there was a joke, you know, I have some friends. There were about 3 or 4 guys who went to Jamaica, Belizean guys who were like very short people, right? Mm-hmm. And so that crop of Jamaican students in the school looked at me one day when I came on campus and they said, "Are you the tallest man in Belize? Because a lone short man we see before." But just, I don't know, when people think of Jamaica, they think about that too, right? It's a passion, all heart, all full 100. So I fit right in.
I think so. Right, I don't know if they formed you or you helped to form them, because
I formed the whole country. I tell you, listen to me. Real bad man come to Jamaica now. So
how bad man at that?
My Jamaican friends will say, "You sure you're from Belize?" He said, "Because every Belizean we know like nice, decent, calm people. Where you come from? What part of Kingston you come from? I say I come from Belize, not calling no Kingston now. They say we are going, you say you're going enough like the Jamaican man. I said, well, you know, now, but my great grandfather was Jamaican. I guess that's why. but going there indeed, it was different. Your breakfast in Jamaica is different in Rwanda. The first time I had breakfast in Jamaica, they invited me and I figured, well, you know, the egg, ham, bacon, you know, man had ackee and saltfish. With one fish, a fried fish on the side. And I'm like, but you eat fried fish 12 o'clock, not a morning. No. I never had fried fish with coffee yet. What are you going here? And Sunday breakfast in Jamaica, like you eat by luck.
Yes.
Boiled cake and boiled potato and sweet potato and yam and all. Like it's a boil up. This is not breakfast. But going there really exposed me to another passion that I had, which was the music, especially Jamaican music, and that's where I was fortunate enough to meet some good people in the music. You meet your Barry Saman, your Buju Banton. I first met Baby Sham when he was 17 years old, and we've been friends ever since. And of course, when I first bumped into a very young Adidja Palmer, Vibes Cartel. So it was all over. I was in places in Jamaica where my Jamaican friend would say, you create, what are you doing downtown at Coronation Market? Nobody goes there. And I was like, well, what's wrong? It's a lovely place that's lively. They said, geez, Mike, when you come for you, just when you come. And it was an exciting time. It was an exciting time. But of course, no matter where I am for how long, it's always, when do I eventually get home? When do I go home?
To end this segment, I'll ask, is it that you've always wanted to be a lawyer, or you were exploring other career choices and then decided on being a lawyer?
To be honest with you, I really just wanted to be a taxi driver. I remember when we were younger, we never had no car. And my father used to like pay one taxi man with $5 to carry police spin. And I was just so fascinated with this man who owned this car and just to drive around, and I just want to do that for a living. I just want to drive on taxi for a living. But that didn't work out. So, no, actually it was younger age and graduated from sixth form. I was in love with economics. And then I got into a conversation with the then National Security Minister and Attorney General, Dean Barrow. And we had a conversation and he said, well, your economics degree is good and everything, but you need a profession. So you need to think about going to law school, and you have the personality and the mouth for it. So maybe you should seriously consider doing it. I made a decision and I did it. And here we are today. So I didn't always want to be one until just before I went to school to be one. But once I got involved in it, then I realized that it was my calling and what I wanted to do.
Excellent. We're going to take a break. But let me say before we take the break, I have to say, you know what, Attorney General, now the people know you have a great sense of humor. What we're going to do, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we will talk a little bit about your post as Attorney General and how you managed to have gotten where you are today. We're going to take a break and be back.
New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because of its perfect portion sizes, and I can travel with it.
Because it's nice and soft and creamy, and it goes smooth on your bread.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because I eat it with my beans. I eat it with my fried jack. And you know why? Because it's nice.
Most of all, when you're on the plane, you know they only give you some crackers, and you could just take one out and enjoy it with Happy Cow cheese.
I'm Miss Baker, and I choose Happy Cow cheese because it goes well with all the stuff I bake.
Happy Cow cheese. Look for it in a store near you. Distributed in Belize exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
Did you know that it's best to keep the lumber stored in a dry place?
At KT Enterprises, all our wood is stored in an enclosed space to provide our clients with the highest quality.
We allow you to personally select your lumber if you choose, and we deliver countrywide.
Be it deckboard, beams, and imported hardwoods such as red oak and white ash. At KT Enterprises, we provide you with the highest grade in treated pine, construction grade plywood, and imported hardwood, delivered to your door.
We continue to build Belize by reforesting its pine forest. Visit us today at 2.3 miles Iguana Creek Road, or give us a call at 671-0114 or 672-0114.
Hey! I bring your favorite for your lunch. I shared me.
Alright, thanks, but I'm really hungry right now.
You look frustrated. What going on?
Well, I don't pay that far and I got a lot of bills to pay right now.
I might have a solution that can help you out.
Well, you must have got direct line to Jesus then, because this one, yeah, miracle.
Not quite. But I know First Stop Speedy Money.
Well, please tell me about that.
First Stop Speedy Money is a pawn shop that is designed to help you on days just like this.
Really?
Yes, you know they pawn gold jewelry, bracelet, earring, they even do pawn and drive. This means you have full use of your vehicle and still get money.
Sure, you make it so easy?
It is easy.
Hey, yo.
Let's go check it out right now. Visit First Stop Speedy Money at Capital Garden Plaza on Constitution Drive in Belmopan or at 10 King Street in Belize City.
Me and my Marie shops in Lake.
Me and my Marie Sharp in Indiana.
I'm in Rhonda Beach, California with my Marie Sharp.
Me and my Marie shops in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Me and my Marie shop at Hertfordshire, England.
Me and my Marie Sharps in Taipei, Taiwan.
Marie Sharp, world-class products produced in Belize.
Life moves fast. Be prepared with Sagicor. Learn more at sagicorlife.com.
Think water. Think crystal water. For energy and health, you need to drink water throughout the day. Crystal water is the most consistent and best tasting water in Belize, trusted to refresh you and your family. Think water. Think crystal water. With 11 stages of purification to offer you the peace of mind you deserve, crystal water is the taste you can trust.
Welcome back to Morning Matters. The Attorney General in with us this morning, sharing a little bit about himself. Attorney General, welcome back.
Good to be back.
You returned home with a law degree, and then you were admitted to the bar. Then you went to work at the Attorney General's ministry. Why did you leave?
Why did I leave
Why did you leave the ministry at that time to go and pursue maybe your own law firm?
Well, I came in, I started to work at the DPP's office as a prosecutor and the PR for the under then DP, Director of Public Prosecutions, Kirk Anderson, who is now a judge in Jamaica, I believe. And I couldn't stay away from the politics, to be honest with you. So when I got into working at the government, this was in 2003. Wow, a long time, 17 years ago. My political, I started to become less and less shy about my political affiliation and who I was supporting. So the government at the time decided, well, we the POP and you the UDP, so better you go home. And so I was removed, I was fired, and so I immediately went into private practice in the same building with the late, great of blessed memory, Dean Russell Lindo, from whom I learned more about politics than law. And it just took on its own life. I wanted to work for myself. I knew that most young attorneys, when they come out for the first 5-10 years, they become slaves to their professions. I decided that if I was going to be a slave, I would be a slave for myself. And so I started out very, very junior practice and took one case in Corozal, and that led to another case in Orange Walk, which led to another one in Dangriga, and some more in Belize City, and my career took off from then. You know, I look at the young lawyers, speaking of spoiled, Rhonda, young lawyers, you know, they want this, they want, I said, listen to me. I used to have one room in the Linda building, Patcher Street, you know. I answer my one phone. I don't have no secretary. I type up my one documents, write my one thing. I had a messenger, secretary, lawyer, everything in the building. And you grow from there, you grow your career and you go from there. So that's how it started out. I went into private practice, entered politics and became politically affiliated heavy. I mean, officially, I mean, I was always UDP, but you know, I just came out full swing with the UDP, started working privately. And then eventually the Prime Minister said, well, he's looking for a Speaker of the House. And I accepted the position, especially since I could still do my private practice until January 17th, when he said, well, Mike, I need you to come into the executive, into the cabinet, because I need your contribution at this point. So I want you to seriously consider becoming Attorney General. And after 1 year, you can leave if you want. And I said, well, I'll tell you after a year, but I can basically say now after my first cabinet meeting that I want to stay. I want to stay for as long as you will have me. I serve at the pleasure of the Prime Minister. I want to stay and I want to serve him and serve the country. And so he said, well, then fine. You stay and then we work. And it's been no turning back ever since. Since then, as you said earlier, he's trusted me with the National Security Ministry, which is an entire animal all to itself. But I love my work and I love what I do, so it's not an issue for me.
You have one of the biggest responsibilities as Attorney General. Is this something that you had looked forward to becoming? Maybe back when you were, earlier when you had joined the Attorney General's office, did you say one day, you know what, I, Michael Perry, will be Attorney General?
No, I never thought that. I always thought that with the Attorney General, being the Attorney General is very serious. Being any cabinet minister is serious. But when it comes to the law, we hold it dear to our heart. It's a very somber position. It's a very serious position. It's a very, you have to give objective legal advice to the government, and you're responsible, you're the chief legal officer to the entire government. So you are charged with advising the government and defending the government. I never thought I would one day be Attorney General. I never thought that was possible at all. When I first became Attorney General, I was speaking to my childhood friend, Anthony Sylvester. And we were both standing there like, you ever think that one day one of us would be Attorney General? Like, no, never. And you know, it was always something that is serious. It's big. You had seen Mr. Barrow be Attorney General in those years, other eminent attorneys be attorney. And you never thought that you'd be considered for such a position. So it was a real honor and privilege when I got the job to say, okay, I have this responsibility and I must carry it out to the best of my ability. And I took an oath, you know, when I took an oath before our current Governor General, both for national security and AG. And the oath you take is you serve without fear or favor. Means you serve knowing that what you may do may cause some people to be upset with you, to dislike you, some people will love you for it, some people will like you for it, but your saving grace is that you know in your heart you did it for the reasons that you swore you would do it for, which was for the betterment of Belize. So when you take it on, you understand that the only thing you serve is the country of Belize and what's in the best interest of Belize. And whenever you do that, you will have people who will love you, and as you say, people who will not so love you. So you have, we live in a small country, and and when people come and say, well, we have a case against so and so, but do you really need to bring it? Yes, you're my friend, but we need to prosecute you. Some person is my enemy, but there's no evidence against that person. National security, somebody is detained. Yes, you're my friend's son, but he has to go to jail. Those are never the easiest things to do, but you swore to an oath that you would do what's in the best interest of the country and the government, and that is all I have to go by. The Prime Minister said, Mike, you serve in your capacities. I don't have to tell you what you need to do. You go out there and be you, and you do what I think you're capable of. And that's what I try to do every day.
Attorney General, you say you serve without fear or favor, but you are human.
Yes.
So how do you manage when push comes to shove? When you think, gosh, I mean, you have conflicting feelings, you have conflicting emotions, because as much as you may say, oh, I don't bother myself with my emotions, you are human. Some of the people in Belize might not believe you have emotions. I know you have emotions. Okay? You are human. And when you're sitting in that position and you think, gosh, where is your go-to to say, no, this is the principle that I will work with?
Yeah. You think about the people, whenever you're in a spot and you have to make a major decision, you think about the people who really matter to you. And what you do, you try to imagine that they're looking at you in that moment. And you say to yourself, my father who has passed, if he sees me doing this right now, would he approve? My mother, who, when I walk into the house, no attorney general or no national security minister there, no. You are just, they call me worthless son and whatever. So that you don't get no praises there, you get truth there. So what would she say? And the other day when my daughter came and she hugged me and she said, Daddy, I'm proud of you and what you're doing. It's their approval that I want. So I say to myself, if they are happy with what I'm doing, or they would say, you know what, yes, you did this, but I think maybe you should have done that, or maybe you should at least come off, make people believe you actually have a heart or something and not come off. And they would advise you and they would tell you the truth. What makes you sane is you go to people who will give it to you honestly and truthfully. And if they are saying, Mike, you're fine, you're doing good, then that's the confidence. You get the confidence from knowing that you are approved by the people who truly love you and truly care for you. And the Prime Minister is the same thing. The Prime Minister doesn't mince words. He doesn't coddle you. He goes on results and hard work. And as long as he is satisfied with the job I'm doing, then I know that I'm doing something, because he wouldn't fawn affection or fake affection. If he's not happy with you, he will tell you that. So when he tells me, Mike, thanks, you're doing a good job, that's when I know that my rudder is straight.
I love it. But I mean, while I am not on the list of people that is in your family, I think sometimes you can give a little sugar with the delivery, okay? Because the delivery is big enough and bold enough, you could just give a little sugar, but that's just my 2 cents. Like I say.
Well, when I do that, then they make singer kind of thing, the sweetheart past and number 1 song.
You know what?
Then when a new song come out, we stay 1 pair of feet away. I don't know. It's all good. It's all good.
You know what, though, Attorney General, since you brought it up, I think, I think that you handle it in strides, because it's not easy. It's not easy to have your job, and it's not easy to tolerate the ridicule. So when you smile about it, I truly, and I'm not saying this because you're sitting in front of me, I'm saying this because you represent, as a person, a huge majority of the people on a whole, in terms of people that get ridiculed every day for the job that they do. And in your case, you don't take it on, or seemingly you don't take it on, but it has to affect you, because like I say, you are human and you have feelings. How do you manage, or how do you cope with the nonsense when the people, they say all the foolishness? I mean, It's one thing for them to attack your job. It's one thing for them to attack your principles or lack of, depending on how they see it.
Right.
But it's another thing for them to attack you and your persona. How do you manage to wake up every day and get on TV and still continue to do the job that you do?
Well, you know, it's like you said. What can they attack? When people attack, what do they attack? They attack the fact that I'm fat. That's all they do.
Could you imagine?
The truth of the matter is, I am fat. So where want the people there say? And that's what my mother would say. But he fat. Of course they attack, but the fact that he fat. But she also says, but that's all they can talk about though. They can't say he's compromised. They can't say he thief. They can't say he use the office for any undue influence anywhere. He's a decent, honest person. But he fat. Well, I am. And I guess I chose that way when I was shoveling food and drinks down my mouth. So if people mention and talk about that, they're not lying. So who am I to get upset? No, my only thing is I find a lot of pity. I really pity so-called sensible people who would choose that as their topic. You have so many serious things we can talk about, so many interesting things that we can debate about, and you choose that topic. I mean, I thought that people would be deeper than that, that people would be, that's the most disappointing thing, that's all that people can resort to. Kind of like when you're in a debate or an argument and you're losing the argument, you know, say, that's why my pack will beat up your pack. You know, kind of like one thing that you have run out of sensible things to say, so you have to resort to something that has nothing to do with the argument, nothing to do with moving us forward, nothing to do with you know, making the country better. My size and my health, I mean, let's be fair, Rhonda. I am fat and overweight, and I need to be more healthy. I want to see my child graduate from college. I want to see my child graduate from law school. I want to meet her first boyfriend when she turns 50 years old. So all of these things I want to see. So my daughter would tell me, Daddy, you say you will always be there for me, but if you continue eating and drinking the way you do, then you won't be there for me. So that is something that is very real. I need to become more healthy. I need to become more aware of what my bad eating and drinking habits could do to my body and my lifespan. And like you said, even though I have the temperament to deal with it well, it does take a toll on you when you add the stresses and the hard work of the job. It's not a good thing. So I take it in stride because it is true. I do need to become more healthy. I do need to lose weight. I do need to do all those things. But when you make that be, when I'm talking about serious issues of crime and taxes and imports and export, and your comeback is, well, you fat. Wow, that's it? That's as far as you can go? That's all your ability can take you? And you have two sets of people. You have one set of people who they do it and it's so funny and it's so entertaining. Some of what they call it memes. Some of the memes are they're really funny. And nobody has a better laugh at them than me. And then you have some of them when you realize people just angry with themselves, I think. People are so disappointed with themselves that the only way they can not feel so bad about themselves is if they can throw what they think is something that they hope will hurt the person what they're throwing. And what they don't realize, I was built for this.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that everybody is aware that you're aware of your size. You don't need to be told too much. I mean, you get dressed every day, you lay in your bed, you put on your clothes, you get in your car, you do the routine. But I'm glad that we can talk about it because I think that far too often we've become a society of mean-spirited people that get our joy at other people's expense. And not only yourself, but people in general, people that are ordinary people suffer every day. And I like the fact that you said that you are, that if that is the only thing that they can say about you, then it's really not a big deal. And hopefully that will meet the other people that are also being bullied, because in reality, you are being bullied. And like I said, you're being bullied by people that should have a level of intelligence and a level of compassion, but they too have their own issues, because when you find it necessary to bully anybody, not only Michael Perry, the man on the street, the person that's riding in the bus that has a bad wig, whatever the deal is, we need to become a better society. Before
is it bullying if the person doesn't feel the bullying?
Yes.
It's still bullying.
It's still bullying.
So if a tree falls in the middle of the forest with nobody, it still makes a sound.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You know, my father used to say to me, he says insults are given, not taken. But the intention of the person is to insult you.
Yes, it is.
That doesn't take away from the fact that they tried to insult you. So
it's attempted bullying. Attempted bullying.
No, it's bullying. Bullying. But it's there. Whenever you're ready for a receive, it is right there waiting, just so you know. All right? Before we go, I want to end this segment by asking, did you have mentors? And if you did, how important were they in the building of your career?
Wow. Of course I had mentors. Your first mentors have to be your parents. I really admire how my mother there was no lying in her. She's not gonna lie to you. So you learn. I really value people who just come at you and tell you, listen, you need to go brush your mouth because your mouth not smell fresh. Or you need to go beard because you not smell good. You understand me? People who can have that level of honesty with you. So I learned that stone cold honesty from my mother. I learned from my father how life is just for living. No get too intense about this, you know. This are just for live. And this is nice and that is nice, but sometimes the best thing you can do is sit down in a chair and just relax yourself. I learned that. I've mastered that. And then you have the current Prime Minister who, if you ever wanted an example of excellence, of a person who is both disciplined and naturally gifted, and you match those two together and you watch them perform, and I wish I had the work ethic of the Prime Minister. I wish I had the natural charisma of a Said Musa, a person who I've met several times. Just their presence make you just feel funny. You know what I mean? Like you have some people who, by their mere presence, the whole conversation change. But you look at people from all walks of life. You look at, I really admire Dean Lindo, how he could remember all this great political stuff. I really truly admire Michael Finnegan, who, from where he came, even worse than us, with his deformity and with his, differently abled self, who is able to, notwithstanding that, make fun of himself and come from way past nothing to being a political giant. Those are the people who jump to my mind immediately when I think about things that I admire about them and who I try to emulate.
On that note, we're going to take a break and come back with our third and final segment.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we believe our job is very essential in serving our customers. And that is just one reason why visiting us is an experience to be remembered.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we have a reliable fleet of trucks. We specialize in countrywide delivery of all our material.
Coop Sheet Metal is a family business that was started by my grandfather, who even had many of his machines hand-built decades ago to make our products the most reliable in Belize. Come visit us at our new facility on Iguana Creek Road, just past the Belize River leading to Spanish Lookout.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because of its perfect portion sizes, and I can travel with it.
Because it's nice and soft and creamy, and it goes smooth on your bread.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because I eat it with my beans. I eat it with my fried jack. And you know why? Because it's nice.
Most of all, when you're on the plane, you know they only give you some crackers, and you could just take one out and enjoy it with Happy Cow cheese.
I'm Miss Baker, and I choose Happy Cow cheese because it goes well with all the stuff I bake.
Happy Cow cheese. Look for it in a store near you. Distributed in Belize exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
Did you know that it's best to keep the lumber stored in a dry place?
At KT Enterprises, all our wood is stored in an enclosed space to provide our clients with the highest quality.
We allow you to personally select your lumber if you choose, and we deliver countrywide.
Be it deck board, beams, and imported hardwoods such as red oak and white ash. At KT Enterprises, we provide you with the highest grade in treated pine, construction grade plywood, and imported hardwood, delivered to your door.
We continue to build Belize by reforesting its pine forest. Visit us today at 2.3 miles Iguana Creek Road, or give us a call at 671-0114 or 672-0114.
Hey, I bring your favorite for your lunch. I'll share me.
Alright, thanks, but I'm really hungry right now.
You look frustrated. What going on?
I don't know, Peter, they're far and I got a lot of bills to pay right now.
I might have a solution that can help you out.
Well, you must have gone directly into Jesus then, because this one, yeah, miracle.
Not quite. But I know First Stop Speedy Money.
Well, please tell me about that.
First Stop Speedy Money is a pawn shop that is designed to help you on days just like this.
Really?
Yes, you know they pawn gold jewelry, bracelet, earring, they even do pawn and drive. This means you have full use of your vehicle and still get money.
Sure, you make it so easy?
It is easy.
Hey, yo.
Let's go check it out right now.
Visit First Stop Speedy Money at Capital Garden Plaza on Constitution Drive in Belmopan or at 10 King Street in Belize City.
Me and my Marie shops in Inland Lake.
Me and my Marie shop in Indiana.
I'm in Rhonda Beach, California with my Marie Sharp.
Me and my Marie shops in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Me and my Marie shop that are Hertfordshire, England.
Me and my Marie shops in Taipei, Taiwan.
Marie Sharp, world-class products produced in Belize.
Life moves fast. Be prepared with Sagicor. Learn more at sagicorlife.com.
I chose Galen because of its strong reputation, great scholarships.
I came because I can take all my classes online.
Because Galen University opens doors to the outside world.
Their course offering in tourism.
It gives me more opportunity to become who I want to be.
If you want to connect with your inner champion to make the world a better place, then Galen is right for you.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Morning Matters. The Attorney General in with us this morning. Who knew that the conversation would go this well and it would be this funny? I mean, when you see him on TV, he don't look like he have an ounce of joke in him. But guess what? Now you know that he does. Attorney General, welcome back.
No, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be here.
I tell you, this is quite a surprise. You know, I had all of these structured questions for you and I had to present them a certain way. But guess what? I can put them down and just talk to you about the things that's really on my mind.
Well, there you go.
I will start this segment with something that I think that most people are waiting for me to ask, the SIs. Yeah. The SIs are like, before I say anything, I'll say, people say, I've heard it said, like Mike gonna sleep tonight and he wake up the morning and say, oh, you know what? I don't want to go past on me, you know? I get this done right away. You know what? I really want my girlfriend stay home every night after 8. So I'm gonna write this, and I don't want you to do hair, and I don't want you to do nails, and I don't want you to drive wrong if you want to go to car. So the question is, how are these SIs passed? Is there any science behind it? How do you come up with them? Absolutely. To be honest with you, I am the executor. I don't. Remember when COVID-19 first came on the world scene, and we started to prepare for it. The Prime Minister announced that there would be an oversight committee, co-chaired by himself and the leader of the opposition. And so you have the oversight committee with the Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition, and then you have the representative from the business community, the churches, the NGO community. That's the oversight committee. They are the people who specialize in all the research and all the information and all the best practices to deal with COVID-19. And they come up with the things that they believe should be the law. So it's the oversight committee that comes up with the no gym and the exercise. They come up with those things. And the task force then that is just below the oversight committee, co-chaired by Judith Alpuche, who is the CEO of Human Development, they add another layer of thought and expression and specific times or what business is this, what business that. When they come up with a plan, they come to me and they say, Mike, this is what we want the law to reflect. Some of these rules seem just contradictory. I mean, yes, I can get on the bus and I can go from PG to Belize City, sitting shoulder to shoulder next to somebody that is a complete stranger to me, but I can't go to church and sit maybe 3 feet away from somebody and praise my God the way I want to praise my God. This is just an observation for me. Well, I take great comfort in saying that the churches are represented on the national. I recognize that, and they themselves said that they themselves were in support of saying, look, we understand that people must go on a bus to go from one point to the next, but people must sit in a building to worship God. And so they figured if you could limit what you don't absolutely have to do, then we can do a better job of fighting this disease. You are one of the people that supported the extension of the state of emergency. Yes. We are one of the countries, we're the only country in the Americas that has no active COVID-19 case. Right. How do you feel about that decision now? The state of emergency is till the end of June, but it doesn't have to go till the end of June. And the important thing is not the length of the state of emergency, but rather the regulations. And the regulations have been softened to we're almost back to full function. But there are just certain things as yet we believe we need to stay away from if we can for as long as we can. At this current pace, for example, we have to consider a number of different things. You have a number of Belizeans who are stuck abroad who really need to come home. We have to find a safe way for them to come home. All of that we are working on for when that day comes eventually. We have to think about bringing in business from abroad, the tourism industry, all of that. We have to at some point bring that back, but we have to be careful that what we do, we don't exacerbate the situation, especially in knowing that there's a high possibility that a second wave may be coming. I say all of that to say this. What happens or how often you change the SI depends on circumstances that may or may not occur within the next few days. So it's all
a constant wait and see and monitoring situation, that will determine where we go from there. Belizeans, we are beautiful people. We don't want no mask on our face. But we have to do that for now because the safety has to come first.
Attorney General, how have you been coping?
Well,
I mean, you have this job, you have extra work now, you probably sleep less, you get the most attention now. I mean, it's crazy. How have you been?
Well, you know, like I said, it goes right back to what I said about my father. It's just what I do, you know. Nothing else. It's just what I do. It's my job. And when my job is done for the day, I relax and I go sleep and wake up to see. My mother's friend used to tell me, right, when when a person got Makobi, right? He said, listen to me. You can't ball all day and all night, you know. Night come, you have to go sleep. So when you wake up the next morning, you have strength to ball again. So you can't ball all day and night. So I work hard from sunrise to sunset and into the night after evening. But at night I pass out, I go to sleep and get up again and do it. I've had to learn a lot of new technology with Zoom and some Teams and how to communicate virtually and a lot of things. So you just have to understand that we're going through a special period and we're all making sacrifices. And so, including the government. So we all have to make sure that we make the sacrifices necessary to ensure we have a safe and secure Belize. So I cope by knowing that all of what I'm doing right now is for the betterment of Belize.
What brings you the most joy?
To see what would give me the most, you mean personally or professionally?
Try personally for a change. Let's talk about you as the person, Michael Perry-Feet.
I like see people happy, having fun, being successful. What I'm passionate about is watching somebody working hard to achieve their goals and they're actually achieving them. I'm passionate about people doing what they're passionate about. So if you like fishing, if you like lawyering, if you like plumbing, if you like whatever it is you do, but you do it with joy and you're happy and you're having fun and the drink and leave rum and there's nothing but love. That's the way I like. That's the way I'm passionate about. I know like bad mind and backstabbing and backbiting and I'm not into that. I'm into niceness and joy and people being happy and laughing together as friends and loved ones. That's the way I'm passionate about.
What is it that you're most proud of?
Proud of the fact that I have a wonderful 16-year-old daughter who is growing into a beautiful young lady, despite the fact that I was not the perfect parent. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the fact that she is proud of me. I think for her to be proud of me says a lot because she's like my mother. They don't tell you what you want to hear. They only tell you what they truly feel. And I'm most proud of the fact that when she looks at me, she's genuinely proud. And that makes me feel really good.
Attorney General, I say thank you for stopping and sharing with us this morning. Thank you for being so candid. And guess what? When you retire, you can get that taxi. So that dream is not just dead.
I drive taxi, and I thought the easiest job in the world was always the man with the bucket of pepitos and the matchbox. And you just fill up the matchbox with the pepitos, and when it's full, you throw it in a plastic bag, you tie it and say, give me shilling. Though that's my dream job too.
Well, maybe you could do shifts after you retire. Attorney General, I say thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a good time.
Thank you as well.